What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We back at it again with another video, and today we're looking at Crime Boss Rockay City. Now, this is one of those games where it's not taking itself too seriously, from what I've heard, and I don't think anybody else took it seriously either. So I'm expecting probably a bad review, but I just wanted to see what at least some of the things the game does well. Cause I was thinking about buying it. I think it's like $40, but we'll see. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
You're being attacked?
Yeah, she's thick as hell. Who the hell is this thick white bitch? Look at that. Look at that circumference.
Rappers?
Don't you lose
diameter, whatever you call it.
Damn it.
Crime boss Rockay City takes Payday's potent formula and plops it in the middle of the decade that brought us bleached hair, dial-up internet, and the 92 to 93 Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately, just like bleached hair, dial-up internet, and those 11 and 71 Dallas Mavericks, Crime Boss looks awful, is technically outclassed, and is full of embarrassing performances.
You got chucked. Pretty bad, too.
Hard to outright hate thanks to the compelling car crash quality of some of its cutscenes, it's nonetheless impossible to recommend right now on account of regular bugs, repetitive missions, and bog standard blasting that's unmemorable at its best and exasperating at its worst.
Damn, so yeah, you already know, setting up for a bad score right here.
At face value, Crime Boss looks like a hearty deal. There are 3 separate ways to play, including a dedicated single-player campaign and 2 co-op focused modes. On top of that, Bon Jovi's second best song about cowboys is on the soundtrack, and Michael Madsen is here as leading man Travis Baker, and in a dapper hat, no less. Madsen isn't a prolific video game voice actor, but he has demonstrated an ability to pick quality winners in the past, certainly with the likes of Telltale's The Walking Dead, Dishonored, and a 2001 game you may have heard of.
Great series right there, that Telltale, The Walking Dead. Now, funny thing about that is I haven't played them, but I've watched I watched RDC play through it, and yo, it made me want to go buy all of them and play them. I bought the first, like the season 1, and I'm gonna start making my way through it. Fire game series.
From the makers of Christmas Lemmings, called Grand Theft Auto 3. Unfortunately, his winning streak is now broken.
My fault, my video was off, my fault.
Here today.
That would be Sheriff Goddamn Norris.
That's it. We end this.
Yeah.
Charge.
It's actually tricky to pinpoint precisely which pillar of Crime Boss is the weakest, although a shooter with combat as scrappy as it is here is always going to be on a hiding to nothing. Melee attacks are hopelessly unconvincing, and the shooting itself is annoyingly imprecise and ineffectual, with the slime balls of Rockay City capable of absorbing punishment like their chests are made of Kevlar. The explanation here likely has something to do with the fact that the roguelike single-player rations out perks that negate aiming sway and increase the stopping power of your rounds as rewards for leveling up, but that doesn't really help. If anything, it makes it seem like it's just been arbitrarily made to feel like garbage until you can level up for the chance to make it less so.
You know what? I felt that way about The Last of Us, like reducing weapon sway, because I always felt that The Last of Us weapon sway was too unrealistic. Like, it's like nobody's gonna aim a gun going like this, and it's going like this. Now, if you aiming a gun, you might go like that, you know. But like, it felt like it was doing this, so I don't like that.
Bounce back from that horse.
The roguelike approach to the solo campaign, dubbed Baker's Battle, is an interesting slant, but it ultimately becomes exhausting. Completing Baker's Battle requires us to take over all territories in Rockay City. Taking territories requires surviving a chaotic but largely vanilla turf war against a wave of opposition gang members.
See ya, bitch! She wouldn't wanna be ya!
Defending territories requires surviving a chaotic but largely vanilla turf war against a wave of opposition gang members.
Strap the in, bitch!
Funding all this requires stealing stuff from a modest assortment of warehouses, strip malls, and other secure spots that always look pretty much the same. What I mean is that pushing through the campaign is already an exercise in repetition. Making it a roguelike feels like putting a treadmill in a hamster wheel.
Are you able to respond, boss?
Beyond that, the only real change to the formula comes in the form of some incredibly left-field side missions, like a Vietnam War flashback or a baffling trip to a snap-frozen Russian airbase, none of which have been particularly enjoyable thanks to tiny maps and unsatisfying action. Black Ops did this better 13 years into console generations ago.
Sniper!
The other ways to play Crime Boss are either via a quick play menu where you can drop into random jobs, or a series of so-called mini-campaigns called Urban Legends. Both of these can be played online with co-op partners or with bots. Both of these also seem...
So it seems like so far, like they were banking on like the celebrity, they were banking on like not taking itself too seriously and people understanding that and being okay with it, even if the game came out bad. And they were also banking on all the celebrities that they bought in and face modeled and voiced over and all that stuff. But it looks like it kind of still fell flat.
like the missions I already played in Baker's Battle, only this time with friends who'd probably rather be playing Payday. Crime Boss unapologetically lifts most of its heist systems from its tried and true peer, even down to its automatic drills and saws with little computer screens, which would have seemed less wildly out of place in this 90s setting had Michael Mann ever put one of them in heat. The upshot of this thievery is that Crime Boss's heists are easily the better part of proceedings, even if working with the lax AI often means bagging up the goods for them and tossing them a duffel rather than trusting them to do it themselves. It's like going on vacation with a toddler.
Get the fucking bags packed.
For the most part, the shonky stealth means things descend into identical firefights time after time.
Oh, sheesh.
Occasionally,
I mean, but you could say the same thing about a Payday, though, because Payday definitely, like, the stealth is like you're gonna be doing stealth for like 15 seconds and then you're gonna get bombarded with like 50 waves of enemies.
Occasionally, and mostly in the final moments of a successful heist, I would get glimpses of Crime Boss at its most competent. There is a certain satisfaction to be gleaned from having the crowd subdued and the loot secured, even if it is highly derivative of Payday's long-established formula. On one particular job, my crew and I had quietly and completely cleaned out a jeweler, after some patient initial skulking about had rewarded me with a store full of dead CCTV cameras and trussed-up security guards.
Hands together, f***o.
Like,
However, just when
unless, like, I feel like with games like Payday, like, you don't really have the choice of stuff. Like, the game makes you choose whether or not you're gonna do it stealthy. Like, either it's gonna let you do stealth, or it's gonna have you be required to do stealth, or it's just gonna be guns blazing like it normally is. It's not like you can tackle any level how you want, stealth or loud, you know? Or at least that's how I feel playing the game. I've played a lot of Payday on PC. I actually got some videos over here of me playing on PC.
things threatened to go south, our getaway vehicle had what can only be described as a seizure as soon as I tried to climb in.
Someone get into the front seat.
This was an isolated bug, but others are much less so, including random freezes that last for several seconds and regular instances where the character models fail to load in at the start of a mission, leaving guns floating around and shooting you until their owners blink into existence. At any rate, I was still able to successfully escape the duel heist with the take a few minutes later, but having the van flap around like a Fallout corpse and peel away as we were literally trying to enter it isn't exactly an elegant bow to tie on a mission.
It's all get out happy. In and out. Bring your dancing shoes.
Equally inelegant are the lion's share of voice performances from its otherwise highly recognizable cast, most of which feel like they were email attachments sent back to the studio the same day the contracts came through.
Word to your mother.
I'll happily admit seeing Michael Rooker and Danny Trejo digitally de-aged and straight off the sets of Days of Thunder and Desperado respectively was a powerful novelty at first, but Crime Boss otherwise squanders its kitsch cast. Vanilla Ice is here as a rapping drug lord who is either beatboxing between his sentences or has someone else doing it for him. I can't tell.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Glover is here.
I remember Vanilla Ice, he actually apologized for his whole career and even getting involved in hip hop. Like, I remember that. That was like probably like 10 or 15 years ago that he did that. That was hilarious.
Here and doing his best, despite the fact they didn't exactly push the boat out when naming his character, which is Gloves. The always terrific Danny Trejo is here, but I've only heard him speak once. He has a bigger presence on the box art than in the game itself. The worst celebrity by a country mile, however, is Chuck Norris, who appears quite regularly, either gloating over your dead body at the end of a run.
Well, player, Why did I beat you?
Or showcasing his incorrigible lack of trigger discipline by continually waggling his pistol at his partner.
This is one hot plate, LT.
I like Chuck Norris movies as much as the next guy who grew up lurking in video stores throughout the 80s and 90s, but the only thing missing in action here is his ability to speak naturally. I guess it makes sense for a game about stealing everything that isn't nailed down. Someone has pilfered half the punctuation from Chuck Norris's script.
What can we expect besides war and the obvious elephants?
There is absolutely nothing about his delivery here that works. Indeed, he doesn't sound like he's even delivering it. He sounds like he's either been bowfingered in a restaurant or is dictating handwritten napkins to his phone to print out in a larger font later.
Money.
No, it sounds like AI. It sounds like they had AI voice him, because like that voice, that pattern of speaking is not natural. I'll agree with that.
How much is enough for one man?
What's particularly baffling, however, is somehow Norris still isn't the worst sounding actor in most of his scenes. That victory belongs to his partner, who appears to be a Sonny Crockett cosplayer voiced by a Fraggle.
No, they say he's going after the Italians now.
Old feuds. Let's see what gives.
Crime boss Rockay City is an overly ambitious airball on all fronts, from its sloppy moment-to-moment gameplay to its largely abysmal voice acting, the worst of which sound like single takes spliced in with mistakes intact.
We think he's pretty small time, Sheriff.
There's an earnestness with which Crime Boss has been put together that I do admire as a kind of direct-to-VHS knockoff of Payday on a promising 90s backdrop. And there is an inescapable novelty in seeing these de-aged Hollywood stars steering the story here. Unfortunately, the hokey charm on display is nowhere near enough to offset the repetitive and regularly frustrating mission design. Its roguelike single player rapidly becomes a total chore, and its co-op juice just isn't worth the squeeze. Sadly, crime boss Rockay City's coked up ego has been writing checks its budget-priced body couldn't cash. For more game verdicts, check out our reviews of Forza Horizon 5, Rally Adventure, and Resident Evil 4. For everything else, stick with IGN.
Good luck with that.
Bitch, shut the hell up.
I think even Saints Row got higher than that, and they bombed on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bombed on that game. Oh my goodness. Let's check Metacritic real quick. Let's see. This is new games, Crime Boss. 51. Sheesh. User. Okay, the users like it, kind of, but the critics. I mean, the critics gave it more. I mean, the critics 20 mixed reviews, but sheesh, man. Game Informer bombed on it. They bombed on it. Damn. So this is a pretty bad game. I don't know if I want to spend my foot. I feel like I want to play it before I buy it. That's one of the games I want to play before I buy it. If it's getting this many bad reviews, I don't want to just buy it and find out it's bad. I want to play it and before I buy it. So I'm gonna see if one of my homies picked this up and I'll borrow it, play it for myself. But damn, like that's kind of embarrassing to get a 4. Imagine all the people that have worked hard on this game, and well, clearly it ain't worked that hard if the game is, you know, buggy like that. They did put a little note down here as far as the quality. So if the quality is off, my bad. It says due to an unforeseen anomaly with our video capture, this review is only available 720. So it's not me, it's IGN. That's crazy. I would still play it though. Like if my friends, like let's say if my boys get it, and like we just all play it together, and then just delete it afterwards, beat it, and then delete it afterwards. Or I'll play through single player as well and beat that, be done with it. It's one of those games. It's not a game you like really take seriously and consider like a big release for the year. It's just like one of those like throwaway, turn your brain off games. So I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think. You copying this? You checking it out? Did you play it already? Let me know. So you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. 1.